Hey, peace world. Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment video. My name is Wood. Please consider becoming a subscriber to the channel if you like the way that any of the information is being broken down. Leave a comment, weigh in with your opinion or your view on it, on the subject, and it is what it is. Look, I'm not gonna be in here very long. Right now, I got a long-term house guest. And then my wife is downstairs where I usually do my videos. So I just don't have any privacy. So I'm out here in my garage. That's why I have this horrible background, but it is what it is. But look, Ozark season 4 was available to be streamed starting Friday. I think that was the 21st of January. Just some light thoughts on it. I'm not even gonna get into the spoilers. Shocking final episode in part 1. I am a little disappointed in 2 very common tropes. Javier Alessandro, Omar Navarro's nephew. The whole nephew rising up, or a younger family member rising up against an older family member. Kind of cliche. And then I was very critical of Power with Tariq, killing his father, and that whole rivalry that went on for like 3 or 4 seasons, 3 seasons. I'm not a big fan of that one. And that's what we have here with Jonah becoming with Jonah basically siding with the ops and turning on his family. If not in particular, just being at odds with his mother, who has disappointed him a couple of times at this point, and now he has chosen to work with Ruth, who has also jumped ship from the Bird Gang, and now is over with Darlene, as Darlene is trying to rebuild, her drug business. So I really wasn't too blown away by those choices, by the showrunners to bring in Javi to overthrow Navarro. And I don't think they've really given us a good background of why there can't be like a peaceful transfer of power, that Omar steps aside and lets the nephew just run the business. I don't know. Maybe I missed that. But, Javi is a problem. And he shows that very early after he's introduced. He lets it not be a secret that he wanted to kill the Birds and retain Helen Pierce. Omar chose to keep with the Birds because they make him a lot of money. But once Javi was educated in Chicago, said he went to business school in Chicago, and lets it be known that I'm coming around. I'm gonna have my thumb on you pretty closely. I don't like you. I don't trust you. I feel like you're untrustworthy. It's funny that you would say somebody is untrustworthy when you want to kill them at every turn for whatever random reason. So somebody's trying to save their lives and their children, and you seem to be very unreasonable, and then you don't like this person because you deem them as being untrustworthy. I'm trying to survive, bro. But then Jonah, Wendy had her brother, led the way, and her brother being eliminated as he became a loose cannon as a result of some unfortunate incidents that really weren't all his, doing, because he had a mental illness problem that was pretty severe. And then also the older guy whose house they moved in, I can't remember his name, but it's just been, Wendy has become a major player. We see in these 7 episodes that Omar Navarro has developed this weird relationship with Wendy, and he actually tells her when he's behind bars that he's very disappointed in her specifically. So he kind of just lets Marty, he gives Marty instructions, so to speak, and wants him to do his bidding and to carry out certain things. But on the side, he has this other relationship going with Wendy. I don't know what that's about. maybe he's just fond of the transformation that he's seen her undergo since, everything was revealed to her what was going on. I don't know. I think the FBI agent, Maya Miller, I think she continues to be a very interesting character. I was surprised to see Joseph Sikora back from Power, Frank Jr., after he had his penis shot off by Darlene. The back and forth, the ongoing relationship, the up and down relationship with Marty and Ruth, it continues to be a very interesting thing to watch. I thought this Shaw Corporation that they brought in, the pharmaceutical company that's headed up by Claire Shaw, very interesting that in order to save her business, that she's out here doing side deals with the cartel, as she needs materials, and she gets involved with the birds who show her a way to bring down her costs. The season is pretty well written. It's even though I don't like Jonah challenging the family, I don't hate the way that it's done, because he hasn't he obviously hasn't killed his mom the way that Tariq took his father out. What's going on over here? So I don't totally hate that. I don't know how realistic that is, and sometimes even, this kid is 14 years old. You don't understand the seriousness of all this, and why certain decisions have to be made. And then we got this 14-year-old kid that's already laundering money with a program that he built on his own. And he's almost as capable as his father at this, which, I don't know how believable that is either. Charlotte has kind of fell in line with just going along with the family because that's the family. And it looks like they're close to being out. I did think it was interesting that, Omar Navarro wants to get out of he wants to exit the business and be a free man and be able to move in between the United States and Mexico. I don't really understand what the significance of that detail was, other than maybe he feels like his life will be threatened moving forward in Mexico. So maybe, I thought he would have just said, I want to live in the United States. Not like you want to be going back and forth, because why would you want to go into Mexico where you would be extremely vulnerable, in my opinion. Ruth continues to be a phenomenal character. I can't remember the actress's first name, but it's Garland, I think is her last name. She continues to just kill it. The other thing here is, so I hope you've enjoyed the 7 episodes. The other part of this that I didn't really understand, I wasn't up on, was the fact that this is the final season of Ozark. And I think for the most part, man, I think Ozark is a pretty, I don't know if I'm gonna say it's my favorite show of all time. It's the greatest show of all time, but in my opinion, it's a show with not a lot of weaknesses. I generally enjoy most of the episodes. The pacing has been done pretty well, and I think them getting out in 4 seasons, I was hoping for 5. I think it's avoiding us getting tired of Marty being able to talk and slither his way out of everything. Like, at a certain point, when you're dealing with a loose cannon like Javier, you can only talk so much and reason so much with a person who wants to kill you. And we've just seen all of Marty's tricks and all of his the perfect timing. We saw here where he had to go and recover some drugs that he needed to repurchase from the dope dealers who bought them from Frank Jr., who bought them from Ruth, and they go track down the drugs because they need to get them to Shaw so that they can meet their production schedules and whatnot. We've seen him overcome all of this stuff time and time and time again. How many different scenarios can we put Marty in and watch him answer the bell? So I think getting out before season 5, while it's not a favorite move of mine, it just is what it is. The other thing that I didn't know is these 7 episodes that are currently available to be streamed on Netflix, it's not the end of the series. There are, I believe, another, I don't know if it's 7 episodes, because that would bring us to a total of 14 for the 4th season. But maybe it's 4 extra episodes because it is the final season. So maybe that's how they're balancing it out. We didn't go all the way into a 5th season. We just have 14 episodes for you to wrap this up. We saw Power in its 5th or 6th season, whatever the final season was. They had a second half to the season. Apparently, all of the shows, according to what I was reading online, all of the shows have been, it's cold as hell in here. All of the shows have been written and might be in the final stages of editing. There is not a final date or a release date that's been put out there just yet. If you've already binge watched the 7 episodes that are out there, you know it's a lot of important. The stakes are extremely high. It's a lot of the cliffhanger, the deaths. I'll say that much. You know who was killed, how they were killed, and who killed them. Sends us down an interesting path. I did let it out there earlier that Omar Navarro, as a result of Agent Miller being on her, being the moral compass of the show and whatnot, and not being, corrupted and sleazy or whatever, she set things in motion to arrest Omar Navarro before he exited the country. So it's a lot going on. It's a lot to, it's a lot of loose ends to clean up. And I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I thoroughly enjoy Ozark. I really salute Jason Bateman for taking on this type of project. And, it's just, we know a lot of these shows deal with drug trafficking, murder, cartels, street gangs, street crews, street organizations and whatnot. We know a lot of the big time shows involve that and are driven by that element. But a major difference here is that the show has always centered on this family. And so, they found a way to deal with, with overused material, but they found a way to do it in a unique way and do it in an entertaining way. And, Marty Byrde is he's not Walter White in terms of being hands-on with, distributing the product, producing the product or manufacturing it and all of that type of stuff. But Marty has a lot of moves. It was weird to see Marty actually touch a handgun in these 7 episodes when he was trying to, when he needed to take care, when he was trying to tell Shaw head of security guy, to stand down and let Ruth, who's also got a mouth on her, she's able to wiggle her way in and out of things without, without resorting to violence. And that's kind of been a recurring theme throughout the show and whatnot. But like I said, I thought these 7 episodes were excellent. We still have some showdown. We have more showdowns face-offs with Ruth and Wendy, as well as Wendy and Darlene. We're getting around to what is the exit plan or the exit strategy for Ruth Langmore. I did see the one article I was reading is that Ruth is basically the 5th member of the Byrde family. Like I said, she hates how she's been manipulated and when she really hasn't been protected on the level that she wanted to be or expected to be protected, especially as important a role as she thinks she has played in and there's some instances in here where Marty goes to Ruth because that's his last resort. And even though they have this, they're on the outs right now with this relationship in much of this season, Marty still always does represent the best deal to make, the best person to work with. One, he's not going to kill you. And he generally pays up when he says he's going to pay you. So, and he's going to put some money in your pockets. You know, you're going to get a bag messing around with Marty if he really needs you. So it's, you know, he's an easy person to mend fences with, you know, and deal with and whatnot. But that was the interesting thing, is that Ruth, and that's crazy that, you know, that Ruth could be a part of the family, because her and Wendy don't get along at all. And so how will that be resolved? There is, where this season or these 7 episodes end off, it's kind of uncertain where the family, because the family is talking about going back to Chicago and resuming their life before they got to the Ozarks. So at the end of these 7 episodes, while they still seem to be in the mix to a degree, it is a little certain if they're not free to move on with their life. But like I said, I doubt that they're going to be disconnected from the cartel, which has a new boss itself. You'll see. So that's it, man. I just wanted to say, you know, Javi, you knew he was going to be a problem right away. It's been a rough couple of months for sheriffs. I don't know if you watch if you watch Yellowstone, but the sheriff on there was killed in action, and now that actor is a sheriff or a sergeant on the mayor of Kingstown. But that sheriff got killed in uniform and in action in the line of fire. And then here, the Sheriff Nick's guy, who was, you know, under the thumb of Darlene, he gets taken out very early, maybe in the first episode, I believe. So, again, you know, Javi is an interesting character. I'm also wondering if lastly, before I get on off here, I'm also wondering if there'll be any loose ends that make way for some type of spinoff. I would say Ruth would have been ideal for a spinoff if they wanted to do like a what's my man, the lawyer from Better Call Saul. I thought she would have been ideal for that, but the spoiler that I'm not discussing has significant implications on how they could go about doing that, how they would go about doing that. So anyway, Ozark, season 4, part 1. That's just my thoughts on it. Again, the show didn't miss a beat. You know, they were gone for 2 years, came back with an excellent, you know, 7 episodes. So we'll see what happens when it returns to wrap this thing up in season 4, part 2. My name is Wood. Pay me no mind. Sports and entertainment. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Let me get out of this icebox. Peace.